Be prepared. We are now in a crucial day. If you commit this one mistake today, it all could go down the drain. Today isn't just another date on the calendar, it's October 1st, and this day is a hidden crossroad. Most people won't even notice it. They'll scroll, they'll waste time, they'll slip into distraction. But for those on the path of awakening, these opening hours are the difference between acceleration or collapse. Right now, the energy has shifted suddenly. It feels calm on the surface, but underneath it's tense, sharp, unforgiving. One wrong step here doesn't just throw off your day, it can sabotage your entire month. That's why the very first mistake in October isn't small, it's catastrophic. And while everyone else walks blind into this trap, you're hearing this message for a reason. The truth is, October won't test you at the end, it tests you right now. Everyone thinks October 1st is about setting intentions, writing goals, manifesting a fresh start. But here's the twist, it's not. This first day of October is dangerous precisely because it looks harmless. It lures people into comfort. It whispers, relax. It's just the beginning. And that's how it traps them. The truth is, we've just slipped into a much heavier current. The atmosphere is loaded, the energy is tense, and those who mistake this silence for safety will be blindsided. Because October doesn't start with light, it starts with pressure. And this pressure doesn't just reveal who you are. It will expose something you're not ready to see. The fastest way to sabotage your awakening right now is to drown yourself in other people's chaos. October 1st and 2nd carry a strange kind of electricity in the air. It's restless, unsettled, like static before a storm. And the biggest trap you can fall into right now is surrounding yourself with too many people. Because in moments like these, the collective energy is messy. Everyone's fears, everyone's doubts, everyone's confusion, it doesn't stay with them, it leaks out. And if you're sensitive, if you're aware, you don't just notice it, you absorb it. Being in crowds during this time is like standing under an open floodgate. Suddenly, you're carrying thoughts that aren't yours, emotions that never belong to you, and anxiety that has no origin in your own life. And if you mistake this noise for your own truth, you'll sabotage your awakening before October even begins. Chosen ones, you know what happens when the collective gets loud. It pulls you off your path, distracts you, weighs you down. But here's the warning. October's opening days aren't forgiving. If you start them by drowning in everyone else's chaos, you risk losing the clarity you fought so hard to hold. And yet, the energy draining you right now doesn't just belong to October, it has a deeper shadow. Just because the calendar flipped doesn't mean the past is gone. September didn't end, it left a shadow behind, and we're still walking through it. The eclipses, the supermoon, the heavy alignments, they didn't just vanish overnight. They carved an imprint into the atmosphere, and even if October feels like a fresh month, the residue of last month is still clinging. That's why people feel unsettled, confused, even restless, without knowing why. They're carrying September's unfinished business into October's first days. The mistake is to ignore that shadow, to rush ahead as if you've left it all behind. But you haven't. If you try to leap forward while the threads of September are still wrapped around your feet, you'll trip, you'll stumble, and you'll repeat the same cycles you thought you escaped. This is why October 1st is so deceptive. It isn't a clean beginning. It's a tangled threshold. And those who pretend otherwise will get stuck in the very patterns they swore were over. What feels like a trap for most people can be the golden doorway for you. The beginning of October isn't just a danger, it's also a secret chance. While many are falling into chaos, While many are losing themselves in the noise of the collective, you have the opportunity to flip the script entirely. Because in these days, October 1st and 2nd, the energy is magnified. What you touch doesn't just stay small, it echoes, it spreads, it multiplies. This means that a single clear choice you make now, something as simple as setting an intention, breaking a toxic pattern, or choosing clarity over confusion, ripples out through the entire month. Imagine it like this. While everyone else is climbing an endless staircase, step by painful step, you're stepping into a hidden elevator that lifts you past the noise and straight into October's higher flow. Don't underestimate how powerful the smallest act can be right now. Drinking more water than usual, choosing silence over argument, stepping away from the crowd instead of blending in. These are the little keys that open the invisible doors. The universe, in these moments, rewards precision. It rewards clarity. It rewards those who refuse to be swept away by the fog. For the chosen ones, October 1st isn't a curse, it's a filter. The collective may call it just another Tuesday, just another day, but for you, it's a mirror. It shows you whether you're truly awake or just drifting. If you seize this moment, the rest of October doesn't just become manageable, it becomes aligned. It becomes a month where things fall into place not because of chance, but because you set the tone at the very start. One clear step now can echo louder than 1,000 steps later. But here's the twist. This opportunity isn't given freely. It's guarded, and not everyone is meant to pass through. October doesn't let everyone through the same door. It tests who's ready to walk. The opening days of October aren't passive. They aren't just dates on a calendar drifting by. They are gatekeepers, subtle but unshakable, and they are standing guard over the path ahead. These gatekeepers aren't here to destroy you, but they're not here to coddle you either. They exist to separate the ones who are truly awake from the ones who are still sleepwalking. And the test isn't obvious. It's not about grand rituals, long meditations, or some massive breakthrough moment. No, the test hides in the smallest choices, the way you start your morning, the conversation you choose to entertain, the thoughts you decide to feed. The gatekeepers disguise themselves as ordinary moments, but every choice you make is like handing them a key or proving you don't have one. October whispers, but those who don't listen will swear it stayed silent. That's why today feels deceptive. Many people are walking into October 1st and 2nd, thinking it's just another chance to manifest, to write affirmations, to do the same routines they've been doing. But that's the trick. The energy right now isn't asking you to create on autopilot, it's asking you to see, to pay attention to the subtle undercurrent that's trying to trip you. And if you miss it, if you let yourself get swept into the noise, then October itself feels like it turns against you. Suddenly, nothing clicks. You feel blocked, stuck, restless without reason. That's the gatekeepers closing the door. But when you move with clarity, when you refuse to be swallowed by the collective's confusion, when you carry awareness into even the simplest actions, you're signaling something different. You're signaling that you're ready. And that's when the gate opens. Suddenly, the month starts moving in your favor. You'll notice synchronicities popping up, opportunities revealing themselves, patterns breaking in, ways that felt impossible before. This isn't superstition, it's alignment. These first days of October are tuning forks. They vibrate at a frequency that amplifies everything you are. If you're distracted, the distraction multiplies. If you're clear, the clarity echoes louder than you expect. Most people fail this test because they think there is no test at all. The truth is, the gatekeepers aren't punishing. They're filtering. They're making sure that October doesn't hand its power to those who will waste it. And this is why so many people feel like they're working against invisible resistance. They never passed the entrance exam. They never realized October was never about starting big, but about starting precise. So ask yourself this: in these first hours of October, are you proving to the gatekeepers that you're awake, or are you just drifting with the crowd? Because the month won't wait. The door will either open for you, or it will close. And once it closes, October becomes heavy. But once it opens, everything changes. The supermoon isn't just coming on October 7th, it's already here, casting its shadow over every step we take this week. Right now, from the very first day of October, the tension in the air isn't random. It's not just stress, it's not just collective noise, it's the gravitational pull of something much bigger creeping in before it fully arrives. The supermoon is days away, but its energy doesn't wait for the calendar. It spills forward, it leaks into the present, and it shapes everything leading up to its arrival. This is why October first feels so sharp, so restless, so full of hidden traps. It's because we are already walking under the shadow of that lunar giant. And when a supermoon approaches, it magnifies everything: your emotions, your clarity, your fears, your desires. Nothing stays small under that light. What you ignore becomes impossible to hide, and what you nurture becomes impossible to miss. The supermoon is like a magnifying glass. It doesn't create new fire, but it makes whatever spark you already hold impossible to ignore. For some, this is liberation. The clarity of the supermoon reveals truths they've been blind to. Suddenly, the fog clears, and they see exactly what needs to be done. For others, though, it's chaos. That same clarity feels like exposure. Their hidden fears, their unresolved patterns, the shadows they've been running from, all of it is dragged into the open under that unstoppable light. And here's the danger. If you ignore these first days of October, if you stumble into the shadow of the supermoon without preparation, it will be like walking into a storm blindfolded. You won't understand why emotions suddenly boil over, why relationships feel like they're cracking, why decisions feel urgent and overwhelming. The truth is, it's all building right now, in this exact moment. The first days of October are not separate from the supermoon, they are the prelude. The ground is already shifting, the tide already rising. The mistake is to treat October 1st and 2nd as insignificant, because in reality, they're the setup. They are the subtle test before the explosion. Ignore the opening days of October, and the supermoon won't just shine on you, it will blind you. And that's the choice. Prepare now or stumble later. Nothing is more dangerous right now than a ritual with no soul. At the start of October, a lot of people will try to protect themselves by turning to their routines, lighting candles, journaling, meditating, reciting affirmations. And while those practices can be powerful, during this window, they can also become a trap. Because when you move through them mechanically, without presence, without real intention, you're not shielding yourself, you're leaving yourself wide open. Right now, the energy doesn't reward autopilot. In fact, it punishes it. Going through the motions like a checklist, writing words you don't feel, sitting in silence while your mind races elsewhere, chanting mantras that mean nothing in your heart, this is like drawing a circle in the dirt and pretending it's a fortress. From the outside, it looks like something, but when the storm comes, it offers no protection. A ritual without intention is like a body without a heartbeat. It looks alive, but there's nothing moving within it. This is why so many people feel like their practices don't work. They think the ritual itself is the magic. but it never was. The ritual is just a vessel, a container. The real power is in the presence, in the meaning you pour into it. Right now, October's opening days are merciless toward anything hollow. Whatever is fake, whatever is half-hearted, whatever is performed only for habit, will collapse. And here's the twist. This collapse isn't punishment, it's reflection. The universe is mirroring back exactly what you're giving it. If your words are empty, the results will be empty. If your meditations are shallow, your clarity will be shallow. If your rituals are heartless, your protection will be heartless. This is why October 1st and 2nd feel so sharp. They are exposing not just what you do, but how you do it. They're asking, are you present or are you pretending? Because right now, pretending is the most dangerous thing you can do. The universe doesn't respond to your rituals. It responds to your sincerity. So the danger isn't in doing nothing. The danger is in doing something without meaning, because that creates the illusion of safety while leaving you completely unguarded. And when the weight of this week presses in, that illusion will shatter. The only way through is presence. Not bigger rituals, not longer meditations, not more elaborate affirmations, just meaning, just honesty, just depth. Because in these days, the energy doesn't care what you're doing, it only cares whether your spirit is awake while you do it. Your energy is not public property, it's sacred currency. At the dawn of October, a subtle and almost invisible danger stalks chosen ones. It's not the noise of the world, not even the chaos of others, it's the urge inside of you. The urge to speak, the urge to pour, the urge to teach, to warn, to guide, to reach out and lift everyone around you. It feels noble. It feels right. You sense the tension in the air, the shift of unseen forces, and something inside whispers, share it, tell them, save them. But here's the truth. Few will say aloud. Not everyone is meant to receive what you carry. When you cast your pearls before closed ears, you're not sowing wisdom. You're scattering your lifeblood. That clarity, that insight, that breakthrough you fought for in the dark, it cost you nights of doubt, years of struggle, and oceans of pain. To give it away lightly, to throw it against a wall that won't listen, is to devalue its weight. And in this tense opening of October, that's not just unwise, it's destructive. Because energy given without discernment isn't just lost, it's transformed. It leaks from you like water into sand, and in its place, fatigue creeps in. You can't see it yet, but October has only just begun, and already you're weaker than you think. Energy wasted is energy weakened, and weakness is exactly what October preys on. This month doesn't test your ability to save the world. It tests your ability to guard your frequency. Can you sit with the urge to spill everything you know and not act? Can you resist the temptation to hand over your power just because someone is curious, needy, or insistent? Chosen ones have always felt the burden of carrying more than their share, explaining what others refuse to see, healing what others refuse to confront, holding the light for those who live in shadow. But October 1st and 2nd are not neutral days. These are days of assessment. They're not measuring how selfless you are, they're measuring how disciplined you are with your power. Think about it. Every time you try to explain these energies to someone who isn't open, you're not just wasting breath, you're handing over focus. Focus is your sharpest weapon. Every time you pour into people who dismiss your warnings or scoff at your insight, you're weakening your shield. And October doesn't wait. It doesn't slow down so you can refill. It moves forward like a current, and if you've already drained yourself on day one, you're stepping into the rapids disarmed and exhausted. Not everyone deserves access to your frequency, because not everyone is ready to respect it. This is the mistake many make. They confuse silence with selfishness. They think helping is always the higher path. But sometimes silence is the higher path. Sometimes stillness is wisdom. Sometimes conserving your energy isn't just self-care, it's self-defense. Right now, you are being observed, not by people, but by the very energies that shape October. They're watching to see whether you scatter your light like cheap confetti or guard it like a sacred flame. The ones who scatter will stumble. The ones who guard will rise. Your energy is not infinite. It's your currency, your shield, your weapon. In these first days of October, you will need all of it. Because soon, the tides will shift. The supermoon will rise, the month will accelerate, the tests will sharpen, and you'll be asked to stand firm in storms you can't yet see. And when that moment comes, the question won't be, how much did you give away? The question will be, how much did you save to survive? The greatest danger at the start of October isn't what you do wrong, it's what you fail to do at all. Neglect is the most deceptive trap. It doesn't show up like chaos. It doesn't shout or break things. It whispers. It lulls you into thinking you're safe, that skipping one small step won't matter. And yet, it's exactly those quiet, missed choices on October 1st and 2nd that decide whether you rise or collapse in the weeks ahead. At first, neglect feels harmless. No lightning strikes when you skip your reflection. No alarm goes off when you avoid silence. No punishment comes when you scroll through hours of distraction instead of tending to your inner fire. Everything looks normal, calm, ordinary, but neglect never stays small. It's like leaving a cracked window open on a stormy night. At first, you don't feel the draft. A little air slips in, no big deal. But hour by hour, the cold creeps deeper into your home. By morning, the warmth is gone, and you wake up shivering. That's what happens when you neglect your soul on the first days of October. You don't see the damage until it's too late. Spiritual drain doesn't announce itself. It creeps. And by the time you notice, it's already emptied your reserves. This is the subtle test at the start of the month. October doesn't only test you with temptations or chaos, it tests you in silence. It watches the moments you dismiss, the rituals you postpone, the inner nudges you ignore, the stillness you trade for noise. Neglect disguises itself as safety. I'll deal with it later, it's just one day. Nothing big is happening yet. But later never comes. And by the time the month's storms rise, you've already surrendered your strength. And here's the cruel part. When the supermoon ignites the skies on October 7th, you'll finally notice what you lost. That light is merciless. It doesn't just illuminate truth, it amplifies it. This is the trap chosen ones fall into, thinking that neglect is neutral. It isn't. Neglect is surrender. Neglect is the silent agreement to weaken yourself. It's leaving the door unlocked and assuming no one will enter. It's walking away from your fire and assuming it will keep burning on its own. Neglect is the thief in the night, and the thief doesn't ask permission, so you must choose. Are you awake or are you drifting? Are you guarding your energy like sacred fire or letting it leak away one careless choice at a time? Because in October, you don't get to escape the cost. The ones who rise aren't always the loudest fighters. They're the ones who stayed vigilant in silence. And this is where most people will fail. They'll think nothing happened on October 1st and 2nd. They'll coast. They'll shrug. They'll forget to anchor themselves. And by mid-month, they'll wonder why they feel so heavy, so tired, so lost. But you have the warning. You know the window is open now, And you know what happens if you leave it. So close it, guard it, protect it, because October doesn't forgive neglect. It feeds on it. And if you let neglect creep in, it won't just steal your peace. It will rob you of the strength you need for the storms that are about to break. In the end, the difference between collapse and breakthrough is simple. Some left their fire untended, and others kept it burning. October doesn't test you to break you. It tests you to see if you're ready to hold more light. The first days of October may feel heavy, tense, or even confusing, but they are not here to punish you. They are the gatekeepers, the proving ground, the quiet filter that separates those who stumble at the start from those who rise to meet what's coming. Because what's waiting just days away, the October 7th supermoon, is not ordinary energy. It is a surge, a magnifier, a celestial amplifier that will bring to the surface everything you've been holding, whether hidden or visible. If you survive these subtle traps of October 1st and 2nd, the neglect, the oversharing, the distractions, you're not just avoiding failure. You are training yourself for strength. Every choice to stay grounded, every decision to hold your frequency, every moment you guard your energy is like building spiritual muscle. And by the time the supermoon lights the sky, you'll be ready to ride its wave instead of drowning in it. The supermoon doesn't create energy, it magnifies what is already within you. This is the truth most forget. The supermoon won't hand you clarity if you're buried in confusion. It won't gift you strength if you've already drained yourself. It simply multiplies what you've carried into it. If you enter weighed down, the weight will feel unbearable. If you enter awake, the awakening will feel unstoppable. That is why the early days of this month matter so much. They are your preparation, your calibration, your alignment before the surge. Imagine this. The supermoon is a mirror, but it doesn't reflect the surface. It reflects the hidden depths. Whatever you neglected, whatever you suppressed, whatever you ignored in these opening days, it will bring out. But if you stood firm, if you faced the quiet tests, if you honored your inner state, then the mirror will reflect clarity, empowerment, vision you didn't even know was there. The energy of October is not your enemy, it is your amplifier. And that's where the hope lies. Because while the beginning of the month may feel tense, it is only sharpening you for what's ahead. The supermoon surge isn't something to fear, it's something to meet with readiness. If you've passed the gatekeeper days, if you've closed your windows, guarded your frequency, and refused to be drained, then you are already ahead of the wave. This is not about surviving October, it's about mastering it. Not about holding on, it's about rising higher. The supermoon will demand truth, but it will also deliver power. And if you've proven you can hold yourself steady in silence, then when the surge comes, you won't just endure it, you will ride it into clarity, into strength, into the next stage of your awakening. The choice is yours. Stumble at the start or step into the surge, ready to claim everything it has been waiting to reveal. If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.